What's up, guys? So we are gonna go to I-22 this weekend. They're having a regular race. They haven't raced in like 4 weeks because they were having problems with their timing system. So the track may be a little, may not be the best, and they probably ain't gonna prep it a whole lot because everything that's going on with the VHT and stuff. But it'll be all right. This will be the second race with 67 this year. If you saw the last video, we did okay for the first outing with it. I mean, we went to the 4th round at Holly Springs. The car ran really consistent. It didn't go as fast as normally than we would think. We're hoping this weekend, and I've looked at the weather, I don't like the highs, but like 90 degrees, the lows are like high 60s. So the car should run a low 90 at least, a low 590. I would think be around in that ballpark. So I'm hoping. And with Holly Springs last weekend, the grid wasn't saving runs for me, so I wasn't able to look at nothing. But I got that figured out. I flashed the converter. Well, actually, when I flashed the converter, it didn't record because I didn't have it figured out by then. But I got it figured out, and then I just raised the leave RPM and got on the trans brake, and it recorded. So I figured that out. The SD card just had too many runs on it. I had to delete a lot of them. And I had really needed updating too, so I got it out and updated it. But yeah, I think like today's Friday. I think we're gonna run the valves this afternoon. We were having problems out of the carburetor at Holly Springs last weekend, which is same problems. If you remember, I had problems out of it when it was on the 70 at that Great American Red, White, and Blue race on Sunday. We had problems out of that carburetor. It's a brand new quick fuel carburetor. It won't stay where you set it to idle. Like I remember on the 70, it worked its way up to idling 2,000 RPM and pulling fuel out of the bowl. Now we put it on this car because the floats in our other carburetor were needed changing, and everything seemed good at first. It started idle up high at one time. We changed it, got to where we wanted it to idle. Then it started idling like the idle screw on the back bowl started backing off. It was only idling off the front. I had to try and keep it from dying. Something going on with that idle screw on the back bowl or something like that. Spring, we stretched the spring, and it really didn't help it. We can set it where we want it, and then it'll go back to where it was at, or it won't stay where it needs to be. So I did get floats, new floats from other carburetor. I think we're gonna try putting it back on. And trying it, but yeah, I think we're gonna run the valves, change carburetor. I'm gonna put it in the trailer this afternoon. We're gonna go to I-22 tomorrow. Weather's supposed to be nice last time I looked, so should be good. Should be good regular Saturday night. Probably won't be a whole lot of cars. There's a couple good races going on this weekend, so. But a regular Saturday night will be all right. Hopefully we can turn some wind lights on, get our first win with a 67 and second win of the year. So that'd be nice. But yep, going to I-22. So we went to I-22. Probably the worst weekend I've had all year. The only second weekend out with the 67. And it's still slow. We were hoping Holly Springs was the reason it was really a tenth slow, but it still a little faster at I-22, but that's normal, about 500s faster. So they run a 597 the first pass, run another 597 the second pass. Really only like 1,000 difference between the two runs all the way down the track. So I was thinking, well, that's normal what the car does, it repeats pretty good. But first round, we won. The guy went red on us. Car fell off to a 98 with a 2, which ain't terrible. Second round, I went red. Pretty much gave it to the guy I ran. I went 498, I think, red. And I'm not comfortable with my bump up, bump down yet. I ain't even used it yet. So I gotta start trying to use it and start getting comfortable with it. Cause I could have bumped up one time and been good. But the car fell off again around 99 with a 3. So some fell off first and second round. And I dialed it at 99 third round. And I had the tree third round. I had the guy about 10,000. So I was 14, he was 24. I got down there, I had him by about a fender or so. I ripped it twice, I think. Or I think I gave it one good rip, and then he was right next to me. So I almost thought I gave it back, but it wasn't as close as I thought it was. But he was right there. After that one rip, he was right there. He was a faster car, not by much. I was a dialed of 599, he was dialed 587. But one good rip, he was right next to me, and which I didn't win. I broke out the car. I actually run a 98 with a 7 with me killing 3 miles an hour. So from my 60 foot and my 330, it went back to the same thing it ran the first 2 passes. So it was gonna run by low 597. So it was going right back to where it was at when we first got there. I don't know why it fell off like it did the 2 first and second round, but it just wasn't a good weekend for us. So we're gonna try and go to Holly Springs next weekend, see if we can do any better. I made some changes to the car. If the motor is not making the power it made last year, then I'm thinking it's not transferring the weight like it did last year. So, and the tracks aren't as good because of the VHT shortage. So, maybe that's why the car is not, doing what it usually does, which it ran really consistent in Holly Springs the weekend before. But I loosened the front shocks up a little bit. They were actually looser than I thought they were, but I took 2 more clicks out of them to give it more travel, help it pick the front end up better. And I planned on going up on the RPM, make it leave harder. But we put the old carburetor back on the car, took this new one we got off, and it sounds so different. We thought something was wrong with the motor. And I was telling my dad, I think it's the carburetor. I think it's just the way they sound different. And we ended up taking it back off, put the new one back on just to make sure. And his carburetor, that red one we got, sounds smooth. You put that blue one on, it just sounds pissed off. Like, I don't know if there's something different with them. They're the same carburetor, but they're 10 years difference. So I don't know if quick fuel would change anything. We ain't opened that red one up because we didn't get a card with it, so we really don't know what jets are in it. We just assumed it had the same jets that the 150 that 850's got, which are 155s, I think, or 150s. I think they're 155. But they may have smaller jets in it, so it may be. And that carburetor's been faster than that TRC we got. It's like 400 or 500 faster than that TRC. So that blue carburetor may be why the car's, the red one may be why the car's slower. We're thinking this blue one's gonna pick it up back to where it was at. And so we'll see. We'll see. But if it don't, then I'm gonna go ahead and change my RPM, because I changed it back to 3,000 where I was leaving it before to see if this carburetor is a difference. If it's not, I'm gonna raise it back up to about 3,400. Try to leave a little harder. Try to help it transfer the weight better by loosening weight. I got the shocks loosened to help it transfer the weight. Probably gonna end up putting a smaller tire back on the car, which is what I normally run, like a 32.14.5 is normally, or 33.15 normally what we run. Well, I can't find a 32.14.5. Jegs ain't got it, Summit ain't got it. All they got is 32.14s. But they have a stiff sidewall, so that's probably what I'm gonna go with. I'm just not gonna order it right now because there's nothing wrong with these tires I got. They're just big. They're 33.16.5s. Biggest tire I've ever had on the car. I just got them because they were cheap. They were my uncle's. He didn't put a whole lot of passes on them, so I just got them. And I've been running them for 4 races now. So, and there's nothing wrong with them. The car's not spinning. It's doing. I mean, the big tire may be slowing it down some, but I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna try and go to Holly Springs next weekend. So just watch out for that video. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. See y'all in the next one.